What heartbreaking secrets did comedy legend Don Knott leave behind? For decades, audiences knew him as the nervous, bug-eyed deputy Barney Fife, the lovable landlord Ralph Furley, or the quirky star of countless comedies, but behind the laughs and unforgettable roles, his life was marked by tragedy, complicated relationships, and a farewell that stunned even his closest friends. From his childhood struggles in West Virginia to the fortune and homes he left behind, Don Knott's story is far more complex than most people realize. Born Jesse Donald Knott on July 21, 1924, in Morgantown, West Virginia, Don grew up during the hardships of the Great Depression. His childhood was far from easy. His father, who struggled with mental illness and alcoholism, often terrorized young Don before passing away when Don was just a teenager. His mother Elsie, a resilient woman, raised Don and his brothers by running a boarding house. It was in that crowded home that Don first entertained guests with ventriloquism and comedy, planting the seeds of the persona that would one day make millions laugh. But those early traumas also shaped his nervous, jittery on-screen style. The characters he played, awkward, anxious, and insecure, were rooted in a painful reality he carried with him his entire life. After high school, Knott served in World War II, not as a soldier on the front lines, but as part of a military variety show that entertained troops. Performing under such pressure honed his comedic timing and gave him the confidence to pursue entertainment. After the war, he returned home to study at West Virginia University, where he majored in education, but threw himself into campus theater and radio, determined to turn his gift for comedy into a career. That decision would eventually lead him to New York, to television, and to a role that would change his life forever. Knott's big break came on The Steve Allen Show in the 1950s, where his quirky, nervous persona quickly made him stand out. But it was his role as Deputy Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show that catapulted him into television history. Between 1960 and 1968, audiences fell in love with the bumbling, overzealous deputy whose heart was always in the right place, even if his actions weren't. Knott turned Barney into one of TV's most iconic characters, winning 5 Emmy Awards for the role. His chemistry with Andy Griffith was electric. Andy played the wise, calm sheriff, while Don delivered chaos and hilarity with impeccable timing. The show's success made him a household name, but in 1965, at the height of his popularity, Don took a huge risk. He left Mayberry to pursue a film career. The gamble paid off. Throughout the late 1960s and early 70s, Knott starred in a string of family-friendly comedies, including The Incredible Mr. Limpet, The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, and The Reluctant Astronaut. Each film cemented his reputation as a master of physical comedy and the lovable underdog. In the late 1970s, he returned to television with Three's Company, playing the flamboyant landlord Ralph Furley. Donning flashy ascots and exaggerated expressions, he introduced his humor to a new generation. Later, he appeared in films like Pleasantville and lent his voice to Disney's Chicken Little in 2005, proving his charm was timeless. Yet behind the fame, Don Knott's personal life was complicated. He was married 3 times, first to Catherine Metz, with whom he had 2 children, including his daughter Karen, who followed in his comedic footsteps. That marriage ended as his career skyrocketed, leaving Don to raise Karen as a single father, something rare for the time. His second marriage, to Lauralee Chuckna, lasted nearly a decade before ending in divorce. It wasn't until 2000 that he found lasting companionship with Frances Yarborough, who remained by his side until his death in 2006. Despite his outwardly anxious persona, friends described Don as gentle, romantic, and surprisingly confident with women. His longtime friend Al Kako even called him a bit of a ladies' man, a side of Knott's most fans would never have guessed. Even in his later years, Don remained humble and unassuming. While many Hollywood stars lived in mansions, he found comfort in modest yet elegant homes. His Glendale Colonial Revival house, with its wood-beamed ceilings and backyard pool, provided a quiet escape during his busiest years. Later, He moved into a Beverly Hills condo, a peaceful retreat where he spent the final chapter of his life surrounded by family, memorabilia, and memories of a career that had spanned 5 decades. When he passed away on February 24, 2006, at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center from complications of lung cancer and pneumonia, it was a quiet end for a man who had made so much noise in comedy. He was 81 years old. Initially, his grave at Westwood Village Memorial Park was marked with a modest stone reflecting his humility. But in 2011, fans ensured he received a more fitting tribute. His grave now bears a bronze plaque adorned with images of his most iconic roles from Barney Fife to The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. In his hometown of Morgantown, West Virginia, his memory is honored with Don Knott's Boulevard and a life-size bronze statue in Memorial Park, capturing him in his classic wide-eyed, anxious expression. These tributes remind the world of the boy from Appalachia who grew up in hardship, yet brought joy to millions. For all his laughter, Don Knotts carried quiet heartbreaks, childhood trauma, broken marriages, and lifelong battles with health anxiety. But he turned those struggles into comedy, transforming pain into performances that felt both hilarious and deeply human. Even years after his passing, his influence remains visible in the sitcoms, films, and actors he inspired. Don Knotts' story is one of resilience, vulnerability, and the enduring power of humor. He may have left behind heartbreaking secrets, but he also left a legacy of laughter that will never fade.